Stirring the coffee with the K-Bar tactical chopsticks using the Vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started. But first, coffee. Nice.
Nice. My God, that is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
Trader Joe French roast made in a percolator with a little bit of cream and a touch of honey. Nice. Can we just forget the daybreak hoe and I just drink coffee? Here's a concept: act while you pray. It's amazing how effective prayer becomes when you participate, think about this, in willful behavior and attitudinal modification versus expecting something miraculous. What that means is, like if you're praying for weight loss, God, help me. I need to lose 10 pounds, Lord. Help me. Okay. And then I said, you have to participate in willful behavior and attitudinal modification. Well, you have to play a role in it. I mean, this ain't Ozempic, where you just give yourself a shot. Lord, help me lose weight means get up and walk a couple miles in the morning. Hit the gym a little bit. Watch what you're eating. Versus praying that you're going to lose weight, and then guess what? You set yourself up for failure because God didn't help you lose weight. That's why you need to pray without ceasing. Act while you pray. Or as one person commented, pray with your feet, which means you are moving, you are doing something while you are praying. If she's not helping you get richer, she's helping you get poorer. Your choice of women will literally make you or break you. It will literally help you make millions, or you will leave millions on the table or lose millions. The right woman or no woman. Can I say that again? It's either the right woman or a woman who fits with your values, or it's no woman. After your breakup or divorce, you will double your income, sir. That's just the way things are. That's how men work. She will double her body count quickly. Men turn their pain into money. Women turn their beds into crime scenes, especially if they have something to prove, especially if they want to get back at you. The best thing you can do is you don't care. Do you love her? No. Do you hate her? No. Well, then what is it? I nothing her. The opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference. I said this a long time ago. I should come out with a series of cards that say, I nothing you. Like you can send it to an ex on their birthday or Valentine's Day. I nothing you. Or after a divorce, I nothing you. I don't love you. I don't hate you. I nothing you. I've said this for years that women can't be alone for long. You'd be amazed at how fast your ex was planking a new guy. Some people have said, what does planking mean? That came from an old phrase, an old locker room kind of thing, where actually my father said this once when I was a very young man. He says, if you're with a woman who's sexually experienced, I'm embarrassed to even say this. He goes, you have to tie a plank across your ass to make sure you don't fall through her. That's that old school, like locker room stuff going on. I would never say stuff like that, but I did adopt the phrase planking. So you'd be amazed at how fast your ex was planking a new guy. There's your strong, independent woman. The cold, hard truth is that you are not very special to her, and you never were. You just took up space, and now that you're gone, nature abhors a vacuum. You've heard that phrase, right? Patterns don't lie. Listen to me, Mr. Farmer. That field was never yours. It was just your turn to plow and plant. Or as one listener said, I think this is pretty funny. It's not your car. It's just your turn. I I think girlfriends, old girlfriends and wives, ex-girlfriends and wives are like vehicles. You know, there's so many parallels with as far as driving it crazy, pedal to the metal, racking up miles, driving it, drive it like you stole it, that kind of thing. I think it's pretty funny. It's guy stuff, but it's funny. Well, gold right now is at 2,676 and 33 cents an ounce. Is it going to hit $3,000? When I first started getting into gold, it was $1,700 an ounce. Up since then, $900. A 34% increase. What in your life has increased 34%? What? You tell me. What investment is up 34%? If you had $10,000 and you put that into gold, you bought $10,000 worth of gold, that would be worth how much right now? Gold is a cash flowing asset. It appreciates with time. Not a lot of things do. All right, so you have $1,000, you go out and buy a flat screen TV, which now $1,000 can get a pretty huge television. Am I right? Okay. $1,000 didn't buy much not long ago, but now $1,000 can buy a massive TV. Buy a sound bar or a home theater system to go with it, a few things, some speakers. Okay. You're spending $3,000 to $5,000 on audio visual stuff for your rec room, your TV room, or whatever. Okay. $5,000. Let's just say $5,000 when it's all said and done. Plus you want your nice recliner or maybe some new furniture in your TV room or something. Now check this out. Electronics depreciate about 20% a year. So within 5 years, all those electronics will be worth nothing. If you tried to sell them on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, you will only be able to pull what somebody is willing to pay. Now, if you took that $5,000 and bought gold with it, think about this, and you bought gold, and it goes up 34%. That's an appreciating asset. A TV and electronics are depreciating assets. They go down in value in time. Gold goes up in time. Now, what can you do with gold? That's one of those things you sit on for a long time. It's not like you're going to go fill up your car with gas and pay with gold. You're not going to go to the grocery store and buy groceries and pay for it with gold. It's going to be part of your net worth, your portfolio. You need to diversify. So you have some money in gold. You have some money in crypto. You have cash and coffee cans and envelopes around the house in a safe. You have platinum. You have silver. You have vehicles. I was listening to a great video yesterday on 8 finance lessons that it was Rich Cooper's video, 8 finance lessons I learned as a young man. You got to listen to it. I actually forwarded that video to a few friends that I thought it would really, that they would benefit from. Rich has been a friend since 2017. We hit it off pretty well when we first met in 2017. Then we had a little falling out. Now we're cool. And I refer people to him all the time. As a matter of fact, when I think about men who write me and they mention other content creators, and I'm moving away from the phrase content creator and moving to media producer. When I think about other media producers, more of my audience has said than any other, you, Rich, and Rollo helped change my life. And I've gotten that thousands of times in the past almost 8 years. Imagine that. I followed Rich. It's funny when you become friends with people that you watch on YouTube and other media platforms. I followed Rich when he was doing Entrepreneurs in Cars, literally when he was in his car making content and had guests in his car and was talking to people and talking about entrepreneurial stuff. And then he transitioned into talking like men's content and that type of thing. Yesterday's video, eight financial lessons that he learned when he was a young man. That video is just top notch, absolute top notch. And it's interesting too. And he does a Q&A at the very end. And there's a woman who comes on live. Phenomenal woman. Phenomenal woman. I suggest that you watch that video, learn from it, and then take a look at that woman at the very end. Every now and then, a woman comes into your life, or you meet a woman, you encounter a woman somewhere, and you go, man, I wish I had a woman like that. You'll think that about this woman. Just completely, you'll see what I mean. Go to his video, 8 finance lessons, and at the end, a woman comes on. You'll see. And you'll think to yourself, man, where can I meet a woman like that? That's one of the first things you'll think. Whenever I talk to people who got out of Dodge, you know, like, you ever hear people say, man, I need to get out of Dodge, which just means you want to just get out, change channels. You want to leave your hometown. You want to leave the apartment that you're in. You need to surround yourself with different people or a different job. Whenever I talk to people who got out of Dodge and followed their dreams, because staying in Dodge City is kind of a metaphor for not growing. When I talk to people who got out of Dodge, their only regret is that they wish they did it when they were younger or wish they did it earlier in life. I am the classic stay everywhere a long time. I overstay everything. If I have a fatal flaw or a near fatal flaw, it's that I stay too long in things. For instance, after I was married, I moved about a mile away from the marital home and I stayed there for 9 years. 9 friggin' years in that apartment. Holy shit. It was kind of hoping that things might get better, keeping my fingers crossed, and wishing and hoping is not a strategy. Literally, I overstayed. I should not have been there more than 2 years. It's like the song, the Marshall Tucker song, Heard It in a Love Song. I ain't never been with a woman long enough for my boots to get old. We've been together so long now, they both need resold. If I ever settle down, you'd be my kind. It's a good time for me to head on down the line. I heard it in a love song. Can't be wrong. I'm the kind of man who likes to get away, likes to start dreaming about tomorrow today. Never said that I love you, even though it's so. Where's that duffel bag of mine? It's time to go. I'm going to be leaving at the break of dawn. Wish you could come, but I don't need no woman tagging along. Always something greener on the other side of that hill. I was born a wrangler and a rounder, and I guess I always will. I heard it in a love song. It can't be wrong. Wow. I think that came out in let's see. That came out in 77. In 2025, the Honda DAX, D-A-X, the DAX 125 will officially be available in the United States. Actually, it's going to be available before 2025. In the 70s, it was called the CT70 or the Trail 70. And it's going to have a bigger engine. It's going to have a 125cc, the same as the Honda Grom, the Honda Monkey, and the Trail 125. It's going to have fuel injection, not a carburetor, disc brakes, and electric starting, and room for 2. Would a Honda DAX, DAX, be something that you are interested in, or is that too small for you? I do kind of like the whole mini moto scene as well. Mini moto means mini motorcycle. It's mini, M-I-N-I, and moto, M-O-T-O, mini moto. The mini moto scene and the motor scooter scene, I really like. I really enjoy it. It's interesting when you have mini moto or a scooter. You can't take turnpikes and highways and freeways, so you have to get a little creative in your travels. And there's nothing more uncomfortable than riding down a highway that's 65 miles an hour, but everybody's driving 75 or 80, and you are on a small motorcycle. Even if you're on a big motorcycle and you're driving down the road and tractor trailers are passing you and big trucks and cars and people just, they got their cruise control on 80, 85, 90 and the buffeting of the wind and you're flying all over. That's just, no thank you. No thank you. You know, it's interesting when you take, quote unquote, the long way around or the non-highway version. You know, when you use Google Maps or a GPS on your phone, you have the option of taking non-toll roads and non-highways. It's just a more scenic route. There's the perception that it's going to take you longer. But the reality is, it might take you 5 or 10 minutes longer to get from point A to B, but it's not a stressful ride. Take the long way around, quote unquote, long way around. Take the safer way. So you're going to take the highway so you can save 5 minutes and not really enjoy the ride. And the entire way, you're getting buffeted all over the road by trailers, tractor trailers, and RVs, and super fast driving cars. It's not worth it, and it's not fun. And driving a mini moto or a scooter has helped me kind of slow down a little bit and look for the more scenic route. Did you ever hear the phrase a power couple? Two people, a power couple, refers to two individuals in a romantic relationship who are both successful, influential, or admired in their respective fields. Together, they are seen as a dynamic team, often achieving notable success, influence, or prominence in society or business. Power couples are usually seen as complementary, combining their talents, resources, and ambitions to create a strong partnership. These rare couples work well together and amplify each other's strengths. It can be two people in business. It can be two people who have two completely separate hustles, different businesses. Or it can be just a wife. Like, would you ever consider, like, Jordan Peterson and his wife a power couple? Most people would say no because, you know, she's not in business. But think about this. What is a wife's true business? A wife's business is her husband. And rather than being aloof and just sitting back and enjoying the lifestyle that he provides, how cool is it to support and love your husband? And you get it back 100-fold. So ladies, if you're watching, you can be part of a power couple by loving your husband, loving a man, being a wife, getting wifed up. If you're young, having babies. Men, step up to the plate. And I'm not saying you're slacking, but I'm saying if a family is what you want, you need a woman who's 100% cooperative, not a doormat. I'm not interested in teaching women to be doormats or robots. Do what I say, woman. No. You cooperate together. You're complementary. You combine your talents and resources and ambitions to make a strong partnership. And that goes in both directions. Here's a question for you. Could you be friends with your favorite content creators in real life? Can you picture them sitting in your kitchen having coffee with you or meeting them out for a drink or a cup of coffee and having a conversation? Those that don't connect with their audience, I don't trust. Honestly, I don't trust. I've had a lot of guests on this channel, and there's only just a couple that I just really, I'm not interested in doing any other collaborations with them. But most of the people that I've had on this channel are people that I like, people that I can have a cup of coffee with, people that I can talk to, people that I can say, hey, let's go out and grab a bite. So some people, I think when they press record, they become something else. Other people are just like myself. Like I said, when you've met me in person, literally, this is who you met right here. I love this line by Emo Phillips, who I think is one of the funniest comedians ever. I haven't heard from him in years. I don't even know if he's doing anything anymore. He says, when I was a kid, I used to pray every night for a new bicycle. Then I realized that the Lord in his wisdom didn't work that way. So I just stole one and asked him to forgive me. Pretty funny. I like to say that I want you to win. Now think about your friends. You ever hear me and Jonesy and Frank, you know, with the podcast that we do called Fire Your Boss? We always like to say we want you to win. Think about your friends, your family, those who you are in contact with regularly. Do they want you to win? As evidenced by encouraging words, a helping hand, moral support, or even coaching you. Do the people in your life want you to win? I ask you that question.
Wake the fuck up.
Next question is, if not, why are they in your life? Who else in your life is saying it's time to get rich? Who's telling you that? Who else is doing that except me? There's no excuses. None. You have, well, check this out. This will make you think a little bit. Elon Musk. Rich man. The guy works hard. Let's get real. He works hard. He has 24 hours in a day. The same 24 hours that you have. Look what he's doing with his 24 hours. And I ask you this, how can you utilize your time better to make yourself rich, wealthy, where you no longer have to think about money? You think about projects and accomplishing things. And of course, money accompanies those kinds of things. That's why I say it's time to get rich, my brother. No excuses. Absolutely none. The number 2 reason for divorce is financial issues. Number 1 reason is infidelity and cheating and that type of thing. Disagreements over money, including spending habits, debt, and financial problems, create tension and strain in all relationships. I know it did in my marriage. Money created some issues in my marriage, and that was over 20 years ago. Get your financial world together. That's an absolute priority. When I say make money a priority, that means spending habits, that means getting out of debt, that means investing only in cash flowing or appreciating assets. Make money a priority. I wanted to say good morning, kings, when I first started the show this morning. Good morning, kings. How much bullshit will you tolerate from a woman before you walk away? What is your tolerance level for nonsense? That much? That much? That much? How much will you tolerate? I get in arguments with men online when I say never take a woman back who cheated on you. There are men who say, I disagree with you. A good marriage, a good relationship is based upon forgiveness. Forgiving cheating? Are you kidding me? Men like that don't belong here. We don't believe that here. We don't take back women who cheated. Proverbs 14:1 says, a wise woman builds her house, but with her own folly she tears it down. A wise woman builds her house. Look for a woman as a builder, not a destroyer. That's why I like to say we are the largest gathering of builders in the world, online, right here. We're not destroyers. We are builders. We want to build a home. We want to build a life. We want to build a career. We want to build families. We want to create impact. We want something to outlive us. It's got nothing to do with ego. It's making a dent in the universe. It's making a difference in this world, in this black-pilled, pessimistic, nihilistic world. You can be a bright light. You can be a beacon of hope, a lighthouse that helps somebody not sink during life's storms. How many women can help you do that? There's this guy, Jack Martin, in California. He's a hairstylist. He helps women transition to full silver, white, and gray hair in one day. It takes up to 8 hours of lifting or bleaching the color, lifting the color out of the hair shaft, multiple sessions of bleaching and toning. I look at this picture of this woman that came to him from across the country. Women come from all over the world to be in this guy's chair. Women that are going gray, they got a little bit of gray, or they got the gray roots or whatever, and they color their hair every 5, 6, 7 weeks. And they're like, I'm done with that nonsense. I just want to go gray in a day. He does that. It takes 8 hours. They pay him $1,500 to do that. $1,500. Dude is racking up $7,500 a week. Let's say he takes a vacation. I started doing the math. He's bringing about $350 a year in, 350,000 after expenses, chemicals, all this kind of stuff, rent, electricity, gas, hot water, all the stuff for his business. That might be 100,000 a year. So the dude is bringing in $250K a year. And when a woman pays $1,500 for a day, because he sees one client a day, do you think she's going to tip him? Of course, that tip's going to be anywhere between $300 and $500. Women come from all over the world to sit in his chair. It's very labor intensive. I'm not sure if he has an assistant or not. Moderate estimates say he's grossing about $360 a year. Considering tips, overhead, and no advertising, he could be pocketing $250K a year. That is how you leverage a simple cosmetology license. And look at the woman. A lot of times women, when they get older, they want to cut their hair short or keep coloring their hair. You tell me, does the gray, silver, and white hair on this woman make her look older, or does it make her look more beautiful? Is gray hair, silver hair the new blonde? It might be. And guess where I got the nickname Sultan of Silver from? From the hair industry, when I was helping women go gray, silver, and white. When I would do hair shows, this is many years ago, I would be introduced as the Sultan of Silver. That is where the nickname came from when I was in that industry full time. I'm no longer in that industry full time, so now people just say, oh, it's the Sultan. It's better to have no woman in your life than a contentious one that is thwarting your mission. Successful men rarely or never tolerate a woman that sidetracks them from their daily tasks or slow them down. You should not have to spend time, energy, or resources mitigating someone else's bad decisions. Is she your partner in success? In your goals, does she clearly understand what your mission is, what you need to do, and what role she plays in the execution of that plan? Most likely not. Even Jordan Peterson's wife had no clue of what he really did for years until he took her on tour with him.
Wake the fuck up.
She really didn't know what he did. Imagine that. One of the most popular speakers and authors in the world, and she was aloof. She was just being a loving wife, but she had no idea what he really did.
Wake the fuck up.
She sure enjoyed the fruits of his labor, but never understood exactly who his audience is and how much they loved him. This is called a woman's solipsism, which means that, not unlike most people, they think the world revolves around them. Your woman is not your best friend, bro.
What?
Hear me? She's not your best friend. She is a partner with you in creating and raising life, if you have a family, and vice versa. But regarding business, most women don't want to know. And they don't know. And if they do, it's only to know how much it will affect them. You need men to keep you accountable, sir, and help you stay sharp. How much more could you accomplish and make an impact without her? Let me ask you that. How much more could you accomplish with a different woman in your life? Can you do more without a woman? Can you learn to self-nurture? I know my father couldn't do it. He couldn't boil water. He'd starve to death without my mother, but that was a different generation of men that could rely on their women. Most women today, you really can't rely on them. Women say the same thing about men, but men are wired to provide and protect. Women are wired or programmed to receive. Is your woman slowing you down with her bullshit, her neediness, her bad decision-making, her own emotional roller coaster? Men have that natural desire to provide, protect, and please. But when that gets fucked with too many times, a man taps out and says, I'm done. I'm out of this. It's better to have a string of women over the years than to have one that is an anchor and holding you back. Some would contend that no woman is the best option. There's people who watch this channel who have completely tapped out and they're done completely with women. Should you be open to marriage or a long-term relationship? I'm not going to tell you that. I know I am open to marriage. I am open, and I've been that way since 2019. So we're going on 6 years that I think that I want to find a woman to spend the rest of my life with. I think. So do you want to be in a marriage or long-term relationship? I can't tell you if you should, but it should never be your goal. Your life does not revolve around pleasing another person or providing for another person. If you are a mature man, if you're a young man, if you want to have a family, it's going to take a woman. Let's get real. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with desiring a family. But too much is at stake with a being that lives by emotions, whims, and unrealistic expectations. Should you get married? Yes. Be married to your mission. Everything else must be second. When you're older, you may say, I could have been more, or I did all this and was blessed by the love and support of a good woman. A woman will get herself deep into debt, surround herself with pets, work hard, not smart, have intermittent boyfriends and flings, and bitch that there's no good men out there. A man will eliminate debt, liquidate the unneeded material things, have systems in place to live simple, make a shit ton of money, and not want anything to mess that up. Yes, quoting my ex-wife, men are simple. I thought this meme was funny. This is for women. Find a man who strokes your hair and says how soft it is and doesn't even care that it's on your legs. Guys, did you ever have a woman apologize for not shaving her legs? Okay, you're with your wife. You're with your life partner, because I'm not advocating sexual promiscuity and having multiple sexual partners. Let's just say you're with your woman or your wife, okay? And you're together and you're embracing each other and you're touching her legs, okay? You're rubbing her legs. And she says, oh, sorry, I didn't shave. Did you actually care about that? I know it. If I feel like if I feel nubby legs, I don't care. But they're apologizing that their legs aren't smooth and that they didn't shave or only shaved from the knees down. Like, I don't care. Or for you guys that are with like your wife or your woman, like shaves her private areas. I don't like that. To me, that's just no more shave. Guys and gals, no more shaving private areas. There's supposed to be hair there for a reason. And I did a whole video on this about 5 or 6 years ago. You're going to have to look for that. But once you shave something, you got to keep shaving it. Otherwise, you end up with the 5 o'clock shadow. To me, it's weird. If a woman starts shaving her private parts, she's got to keep shaving her private parts. If she misses a day, she's going to have a 5 o'clock shadow there. And that's like having sex with a sanding block. Ladies, stop shaving down there. Seriously, stop shaving down there. There's hair there for a reason. Make 1970s bushes great again.
Looking great. Perfect.
I remember a girlfriend, literally in my 20s, pokes her head in the room and she says, are we doing anything today? I'm sitting there reading a book. Are we doing anything today? I mumbled something. I didn't really hear what she had to say as I'm reading, maybe about 25 years old. 5 minutes later, she says, are you just going to read all day? And I look up. This is 9 a.m. in the morning. I look up and I give her the look. She had a camera in her hand, and she says, you always give me that look. She goes, I don't like that look. I still have that look on my face if a woman hassles me. She replied, fine, I'm going shopping.
Nice.
Like that was a punishment. Guess what happened? I ended up having a peaceful 3 hours, enjoying a new book and a few cups of coffee.
Nice.
The minute a woman starts making rules for you, it sets a bad precedent. You don't fear growing older alone or with just a few friendly acquaintances. Women are terrified of being alone. There's 3.5 billion women out there, and you're worried about one? Never stress over one, ever. Sure, do we like beauty and softness and curves and feminine touch and smooth legs or hairy legs? Doesn't matter. We love all that stuff, but it's not worth listening to her plan for you. Let Chad have her. And all the money that you would have spent on her, 10x that. Turn it into something else. You spend $500 a month on a woman, easily, right? Dinners and whatever. Take that $500 and invest it. Turn that $500 into $5,000. Does she seem aloof? Most likely it's because she's been with multiple men. as a woman's body count increases, her ability to love will decrease. You will always feel lonely next to a woman who's had sex with more than one man. Always. There will always be trouble brewing because she gave away something that keeps her sane. You will always feel like something's a little bit off. And you might dismiss it because of your own sexual past or your own history of instability. But the reality is this, body count does matter. As I've said in the past, men love bragging about how many women they've been with. Women love bragging about how many men they haven't been with. And both are liars. On dating sites, stop asking for pics of women. Do you have more pictures? Instead, ask for a picture of her medicine cabinet so you can see what kind of meds she's on and what kind of crazy you're going to have to deal with. Women will reject an honorable man that will make them a wife, in place of men that will make them a girlfriend for the umpteenth time, and add to their body count, their cynicism, and eventually make them undateable, undesirable. She'll be married to her job, that she'll work until she retires, and then being a cynical aunt, she'll be the fun aunt, or have fur babies in her future. Ladies, look for a man that'll make you a wife, not a girlfriend. There's a difference. And men, look for a woman who wants to be a wife. If you're young, to be a wife and a mother. And with that, finish your coffee and I'll see you on the next Daybreak show. Or as I like to say sometimes, the Daybreak Ho. Your home of sanity, clarity, and reason.